decided upon, the mixing conveyor. Here, a worker assembles a batch of raw ingredients that will eventually become the heart of a golf ball. These bags contain what's called crystalline polybutamine. It's the main ingredient of the core. And how much you use determines how the ball will behave. Titleist makes two main types of core, hard and soft. The different ingredients are easy to spot because, like in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, the ingredients are color-coded. But these are not sweet.
We'll make about 3,000 golf balls out of that.
The raw mixture goes into a giant cooker. And a few minutes later, it comes out looking like this. They call it the hot sheet. Cut and cooled, the hot sheet now looks a bit like Play-Doh. Barely pausing for breath, workers ship the hot sheet off to the next part of the production process. Here, the sheeting is sliced into strips. The extruder chops the strips into pellets. When cooked in another oven, the pellets shrink and compress. The compression provides density, and density provides power. The core density of an average golf ball is equal to 40 kilograms of steel squeezed into a space just 4 centimeters in diameter. The core is like a coiled spring, a powerhouse of pent-up energy, the engine that drives the ball. But raw power isn't everything. Getting distance out of a golf ball is one thing, but ball control is another, and getting a ball to behave itself involves more than just the core. The secret is on the surface. The ball's external housing is a kind of two-piece egg cup that holds the core. Think of it as a containment chamber for a nuclear reactor. The cup is made of a durable plastic called polyurethane. Chip-resistant household paint contains the same ingredient. After cooking, the golf balls are beginning to look like golf balls. But they still lack what is perhaps a golf ball's most distinctive feature: dimples. On a golf ball, they're vital, because dimples make spin, and spin makes the ball fly true. Up to 500 dimples adorn each and every ball. This is a molding oven. Half-assembled golf balls are pushed up into hot dimple molds. Freshly dimpled, the fledgling balls are sucked along high-speed vacuum tubes towards their ultimate destination. The finishing processes that will make them the choice of champions. Aerodynamic properties are so important to the ball's final performance that they go through 2 polishing processes in an effort to further reduce drag. First, they must face the automatic ball buffer.
This is when the ball becomes a real golf ball. This is the excess flash of the ball that you see right here. It goes all the way around the ball. And after it's gone through the machine, you can see the finish line right there of the golf ball. And once it's sprayed and painted, it all blends in.
The second polishing comes when the balls are blasted by high-speed jets of water. Finally, after the balls have been branded, robotic sprayers apply a coat of aerodynamic paint.
It's so difficult to hit. I mean, you can see it, it doesn't move, and then when you swing at it and hit it, it doesn't always go straight.
So the next time you can't find your ball, just think what an incredible piece of engineering you've just lost.
Thank you.
Behind the most ordinary objects hide the most extraordinary stories. Coming up, the secrets behind the zip. Next, on How Do They Do It? We don't usually give them a second thought, but zips are everywhere. Since they were invented back in 1851, the principle of the zip has barely changed. The early hooks have since become teeth, but each one is still unhooked by a plough-shaped wedge, which pivots each tooth away from the tooth below. The zip is a deceptively simple piece of engineering, but it takes 20 different manufacturing processes to make one. So, how do they do it? Three-quarters of the world's zips come from China. And most of these come from just one area, the city of Chaotou in the Zhejiang province. The world depends on Chaotou to make 124,000 miles of zips every year. It may not look like it, but the world's clothes are fastened by the people of Chaotou. The biggest factory here is Great Wall Zipper, or YQQ as it's known. It's the beginning of the workday for the 1,000 people who are about to make the world's most common clothing accessory. It all starts with this stuff, tiny pellets of plastic. These tiny balls will eventually form the interconnected teeth of the zip. First, the pellets are melted down in an oven, then squeezed through small holes, cooled in water, and gradually stretched out over heated rollers into long threads. Each roller makes them longer and thinner. It's critical that they all achieve the correct and even width. Otherwise, both halves of the zip teeth won't fit together when they're finished. What looks like miles of simple nylon thread will soon become the teeth of a zip. On a separate floor, they're busy with the cotton. Spools and spools of cotton thread are being entwined to form what is called the central cord. When the zip's done, you won't know this cord exists. But without it, the zip would be useless. On the next machine, the nylon thread and central cord are about to be joined. They're spun through a heated screw that weaves them together, twisting the nylon into loops and inserting the central cord through the middle. Then the teeth are clamped around the cord. Now we have 1/2 of a zip. Both sides of the zip are then fed together. If you look carefully, you can see 2 cords of thread through them. So why all this effort to have a piece of cotton running through each side of the zip's teeth? Well, zips are more complicated than you might imagine. The zip's teeth may be attached to each other, but so far they're useless because they can't be attached to anything else. So how do you get them into a pair of trousers or a bag or a coat? The answer is they need to be set into fabric. The next floor houses dozens of looms, weaving a fabric called tape that will make up the sides of the finished zip.
I help make over 600 million metres of fabric tape a year. It's amazing that there are so many processes behind the making of a simple zipper.
Now it's a matter of attaching millions of metres of fabric to millions of metres of zip. And this is where both sides of the central cord reveal their magic. By being inside the looped teeth, the central cord is in the perfect place to sew the zip into the tape. The 2 sides of the zip are then threaded through another machine and sewn to the zipped up cord to create huge lengths of different coloured zip